Hey everyone, Steve G here for another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review, and what we have this time is the Kanetsugu Shiun VG10 Gyuto 210mm knife. So as indicated, this knife has a core steel of VG10 full stainless steel. Heat treats typically about 59 to 60 Rockwell on VG10. It's a pretty straightforward construction. It's got a fair amount of polish to it, as you can kind of see there, so I'll try not to glare too much with the lights. But so it's got a soft stainless cladding on either side of that core steel with a hammered finish to it. So it's an all stainless blade. The weight and dimensions will vary a little bit from knife to knife, but this particular one is 143 grams or 5 ounces. Heat treats about 60 Rockwell on that. I've already mentioned that. Edge length, so this one's a little kind of undersized, so it's about 203 millimeters on this particular sample, or 8 inches in length on the edge. Overall length about 13.8 inches or 350 millimeters. And then these are fairly thin blades all the way around. They've got a fair amount of stiffness to them, but they're about 2 millimeters at the spine, pretty much just all the way down until you hit the grind. It's pretty easy, obviously, to see where the grind is. By the way, there's your cladding, there's your core steel right there coming from the cladding. These do get pretty thin at the tip. On camera, there we go. So really nice and thin at the tip. That's quite thin. And then nice and thin at the edge as well. So this would be a good performing knife. Again, it's got a fair amount of polish to it. I've got a hammered finish on it. See what we can do here. This one's a little tricky, so we'll just do that as best we can. It's hard to tell. You have to hit it just right, but there is some etched. And yeah, this is just hard to show people, but there's some etched on kanji right there. Here's your grind. Here's your core steel. The grinds actually are pretty nice on these. Grinds are clean, nice and smooth, not wavy. On the left side of the blade, you've got an etched symbol as well for the company. Again, a little hard to show you, but it's there. In person, it's a little easier to catch. That's probably about as good as I can do, but it's there. Nice fit and finish on this. They've relieved the spine just a little bit. The choil, they've relieved a little bit of the corners on that as well. Out of the box edge, I'll give this 6 out of 10. It was kind of a pretty nice, just good, solid out of the box edge. Nothing spectacular, but good out of the box edge. So you'd be ready to pull this guy out and just work with it. The handle is oak, and it's known as urushi finish on it, where they burnt it and then just kind of taper that off towards the top. There's a good seal job here where the handle and tang meet, so nicely done there. I didn't mention yet, sorry, 43.8 is the height, so it's not a real tall knife. So about 44 at the back. Gentle curve from the choil into the neck, so there's a good spot there for your fingers. It still has pretty good clearance unless your fingers are going to be really, really big. So it should be pretty good clearance on the cutting board, no problem. Balance point, oak is a little heavier wood, so that's going to bring the balance point right about there on the sample, which on a pinch grip is just a touch behind the pinch grip, not much. So the balance bias is slightly handle heavy, but not a whole lot. It's pretty nimble and neutral. With the pinch grip, it's definitely racket grip. It'll be totally different, but pinch grip, it's pretty neutral. What else? I think that's about it. So let's take a look. So this is ground quite thin at the tip and the edge, so this should be a really good performing blade. Again, if you like a little stylistic bling to your setup, it's a nicely crafted knife and a little polish to it. The hammering finish should help food release a little bit. Here's our edge profile. It's got a fairly aggressive belly towards the tip. Backside flat area towards the back. It doesn't go into a hard stop, but it does kind of right there, and then you can come a little further back. So fairly flat towards the back. It should chop well in that back part. Tip wise, I can get pretty high here, actually right about there. So I can get in this area here before the tip wants to dig in. So this will rock really nicely over stuff. It's still, you have to go a little higher on the handle, but you can do tip draws with it if you want to do that. Push-pull cuts, glide cuts, again, chopping towards the back. So I'd say it's a pretty darn versatile profile. It definitely will rock for you if you want to do that. So it's just a good solid knife, good materials, nice fit and finish, thin grinds where it counts, so the performance is going to be good. So just all stainless for easy maintenance. So this is the Kanetsugu Shiun VG10 Gyuto 2 10mm knife from Chef Knives to Go.